video I'm going to be showing you how to create this really pretty lace bobble infinity scarf or cowl. Now I've used a 3mm crochet hook and a typical 4-ply yarn. You'll find that 200 grams covers this project. Check out the description box for the written instructions to this video, and also check out the links because I've got lots of other crochet patterns that feature this really pretty beautiful lace stitch. So now I can't wait to show you this, so let's get on with the video tutorial. To adjust the size of your cowl, increase or decrease in multiples of 7 stitches. Now I would recommend creating a sample piece. Now this sample piece consists of chaining 35 stitches, but you could do 35 or 42, and that way you familiarise yourself with the pattern before launching into such a large project. Create your slip knot, and we're going to begin by chaining 224 stitches. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, ensuring that your series of 224 chains are not twisted, we're going to go into the first chain with a slip stitch, and this will form a circle within which we can form our infinity scarf. Now, foundation row number 1, first of all, chain 1, and then into the same stitch we're going to do a half double crochet, so that's yarn around the hook, going into the same stitch, pull through a loop, 3 loops on the hook, pull through all 3, and that is 1 half double crochet. Next, another half double crochet into the next stitch, insert your hook, pull through a loop, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Now what I'd like you to do is complete into every single chain stitch a half double crochet. Like so. So that's our third one. Yarn around the hook, into the next chain stitch, pull through a loop, your half double crochet stitch completed. Again, into the next stitch, yarn around the hook first, pull through a loop, pull through all 3, and let's see if we can even go in a little bit closer. Yarn around the hook, into the next stitch, pull through a loop, pull through all 3, yarn around the hook, into the next stitch, pull through a loop, pull through all 3, and what I'd like you to do is continue all the way around, and then we'll do a little slip stitch at the end to form our first foundation round. So join me at the end of this round. I've got a few stitches left, so let's half double crochet those remaining stitches. Into my final chain, my last half double crochet, and then if we flip those up into the first half double crochet join the round like so with a little slip stitch. So that's foundation round number 1 complete. Foundation round number 2. Begin by chaining 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and place your marker onto those 5 chain stitches. And if we hold this up closely, we are going to miss 3 stitches there and single crochet into the 4th stitch like so. Next, chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This time miss 2 stitches, go into the 3rd stitch along and single crochet. Now those 2 sequences there are going to be repeated throughout the round. So chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then into the 4th stitch, so missing 3, 1, 2, 3, into the 4th stitch, single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, go into the 3rd stitch and single crochet. Again, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, miss 3 stitches, go into the 4th, single crochet, chain 3, into the 3rd stitch, single crochet, chain 5, into the 4th stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, into the 3rd stitch, single crochet. So keep going with that repeat pattern. We've got 1 more repeat to fit in. So for the last time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and to end we're going to go into the space containing the marker and we're going to do a slip stitch. And what you need to do now is check that you've got 32 pairs of loops. So that's a large loop followed by a small loop. So if I just put this marker on here just for a moment, and in fact let's get another one just to make sure. So that's 1 pair, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So that's 32 pairings we've got, so that's correct. And that would be a total of 64 loops. So we're now ready to start the first row of this main repeat pattern. So get my hook in position. I need a bit more light, I think. Right, begin round 1 of the main repeat by chaining 3, 1, 2, 3, get a marker, very important, mark those first chain 3s. Now we want to go to the next 3 chain space, which is here. This, if you remember, was a 5 chain space. So into the next 3 chain space, we're going to create a bobble. Now wrap the yarn around your hook twice, go into the 3 chain space, pull through a loop, pull through 2 at a time, that's once, twice, 3 times initially, so that's the first part of the bobble. Complete another treble, yarn around the hook twice, into the 3 chain space, pull through a loop, and this time we're pulling through 2 at a time but leaving the very last stitch on the hook. Now we want 5 stitches on this hook and then we're going to form the bobble, so keep going with those trebles, yarn around the hook twice, into the 3 chain space, pull through a loop, pull through once, pull through twice, 3 chains now on the hook, yarn around the hook twice, into the 3 chain space, pull through a loop, pull through once, twice. We have 4 stitches on our hook. Complete our last treble, yarn around the hook twice, into the 3 chain space, pull through a loop, pull through once, twice. We've got 5 stitches on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 5 stitches to form our cute little bobble. To finish the bobble, just do a further chain. Next, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and into the next 5 chain space, which is the next space here, single crochet. Now if you can do that little sequence, you can complete my lace bobble infinity scarf. Next, repeat that sequence, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, into the 3 chain space here, create a bobble, yarn around the hook twice, into the 3 chain space, pull through a loop, pull through initially 3 times. We've got our bobble began there. We need 5 loops, remember, on our hook. So keep going with those trebles. Yarn around the hook twice, pulling through a loop. Only pulling through twice so that it leaves a loop on the hook. Three loops on the hook. When you have 5 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 5, secure with a little slip stitch. Finish the repeat by chaining 3 and then single crochet into the next 5 chain space here. We now have 2 repeats of the main pattern. So what I'd like you to do is keep going with that repeat, creating your bubbles into the 3 chain spaces all the way along until the end, and we'll go through the last stages when we get there of how to finish the round. I've nearly finished round 1. I've got 1 3 chain space remaining, and I'm going to do one last set of the repeat. So chain 3, and then into that very last 3 chain space, create your bubble. Remember pulling through 3 times initially. And then we want 5 loops on the hook. Oops. Might have to do that one again. Let's start that one again. So that's 4 loops. 5 loops, finish the bubble, chaining 1, and then end the round by chaining 3, and then you want to single crochet into the 5 chain space containing the marker. So go into that 5 chain space and single crochet. So that's round 1 of the main repeat pattern. Now round 2 of the main repeat pattern. Begin by chaining 5, so that's 5, and don't forget, always place your marker on those initial chain stitches. Next, single crochet into the next 3 chain space here. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single crochet into the next 3 chain space here, like so, and repeat that pattern throughout the round, beginning by chaining 5 and then single crocheting into the next 3 chain space, chain 3, single crochet into the next 3 chain space, and just keep going with the repeat pattern. Chain 5, single crochet into the next 3 chain space, chain 3, single crochet into the next 3 chain space. So keep going with that repeat, and let's see what happens towards the end of the round. Now I've worked the pattern all the way along to the last bobble, so I'm ready to do the last repeat. So chain 5 and single crochet into the last 3 chain space, and end the work by chaining 3 and then go into the space containing the marker, go into that 5 chain space and single crochet, and that would be round 2 completed. Now all that's needed to create these lovely bobbles is just simply to repeat rounds 1 and 2 over and over and over again until you have the right depth for your infinity scarf project. As you make progress with your project, you'll notice that the marker position moves diagonally across. Now this is perfectly normal and nothing to worry about, and as you can see, the project is perfectly seamless. So let's carry on. Now that I'm happy with the depth of my cowl, I'm going to finish on a bobble making round, which is round 1 of the main repeat pattern. And this is my final bobble. I'm going into that last 3 chain space. Chaining 3, going in to the space containing the marker, so ensuring that you end on a bobble making round. We can now go on to do the final 2 rounds to create the edging of our infinity scarf. So this is round 1. Begin by chaining 1 and into this 3 chain space here we're going to create 2 half double crochets. So that's yarn around the hook once, into the space, pulling through a loop, then pulling through all 3 loops on the hook, and again yarn around the hook, into the same space, create your second half double crochet. I'm just going to mark my first stitch. Next, chain 1 and into the next 3 chain space here create 2 half double crochets. So yarn around the hook once, into the space, pulling through, and then pulling through all 3 loops on your hook. Second half double crochet, repeat again. Now over these latticed areas we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and it's a matter of repeating that little sequence throughout. So into the next 3 chain space here we're creating 2 half double crochets. That's 1, that's 2. Next, chain 1 into the next 3 chain space, again 2 half double crochet stitches. That's 1, that's 2. Over the lattice area here, chain 2. I'll show you one more time. Oops, yarn around the hook only once, into the next 3 chain space, create half double crochet number 1, repeat again. That's 2 half double crochets. Over the top of the bobble, chain 1, into the next 3 chain space, create 2 half double crochets. That's 1, 2, chain 2, 1, 2. So repeat that throughout the round and we'll look at what to do as we finish round 1. So at the end of round 1 here, carry on with the last repeat. So we're going into that 3 chain space and we're creating 2 half double crochets. That's 1, that's 2, chain 1 into the last 3 chain space, go into it, half double crochet, a second half double crochet, and we end the repeat with 2 chains, and then we're going to slip stitch into the first half double crochet stitch like so. So that would be round 1 complete. Round 2, we're going to begin with a single chain stitch and then into the same stitch half double crochet, and in fact we're going to half double crochet into every half double crochet stitch, and then when we get to our first 1 chain space, go into that space and do 1 half double crochet. Into the next 2 half double crochet stitches, just keep going, half double crochet into each half double crochet stitch. And next we reach a 2 chain space, and into that 2 chain space create 2 half double crochets. So that's 1 and that's 2. So every time you get a 1 chain space, create 1 half double crochet. Every time you get to a 2 chain space, you want to do 2 half double crochets and half double crochet into each of the half double crochet stitches from the previous row. So I hope that makes sense. So into the next 2 half double crochet stitches, create your new stitches. So that's 1, 2, we've got a 1 chain space here, into that 1 chain space 1 half double crochet, into the next 2 stitches create a half double crochet into each one, so that's 1, oops, try that again, thread's got my yarn's got a bit tangled. So that would be our second half double crochet. We have a 2 chain space, so create 2 half double crochets into that space and repeat this sequence all the way around. In fact, what I should have done is mark our first stitch here. So this is the last repeat of round 2. So create your half double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So that's 1, that's 2, into the 1 chain space create your 1 half double crochet over the bobble, and then you've got 2 stitches there, go into each stitch with a half double crochet, that's 1, That's 2, and then you're left with a 2 chain space there, so we're going to go into that space and create our final 2 half double crochet stitches, and then finally we can slip stitch into our first stitch, and we can cast off and weave in all those loose ends. Take care not to over block this item, so if anything I would probably dampen the very edge and set that and flatten the top edge, top and bottom. If you block the bobbles you'll lose their plumpness, so I would leave those. So that now completes the tutorial for this lace bobble infinity scarf, so thank you for watching.